Hi guys, good evening, and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host, Eddie, and in tonight's video, I will be discussing what I thought of the latest and most shocking season of our favorite psychological thriller that returned to Netflix just a short while ago, and I recently finally caught up and finished watching it. You. That's right, the show that started out on Lifetime and then transitioned its way to Netflix and became a huge hit. Recently dropped its second season during the holiday break. I started watching it a few days ago and now I have finally finished it, and I gotta say, that was a hell of a season. Now, before I go on, of course, please be warned, especially with a show like this that has a lot of shocks and twists and turns, this is going to be a spoiler-filled season review. I will be covering like the entire season, not episode by episode, but just like summarizing the whole season, which contains a lot of death and shocking spoilers and twists and turns. So you have been warned. That being said, let's jump right into it. Okay, so spoilers starting from here on out now. First and foremost, I gotta say, I was a little I admit I'm a little disappointed by the body count in terms of Joe not being at the helm of them. Like, he killed at least, by my count, 2 people. The mob enforcer, Jasper, and then Henderson as well. Even though his death was sort of an accident, you know, he did end up indirectly killing him. And then all the other deaths were by the hands of other people. You know, the cop killing 40, you know, and then Love killing Candace, and then Love killing their would-be the child rapist babysitter from when she and her brother were kids. And there was another one. Or was there another one? Maybe there wasn't. Oh, yeah, and then Love killing Delilah, of course. So there was a body count, but just not a very high body count on Joe's part. And the thing I liked about season 1 that was consistent about was that Joe killed almost everybody, which made that show just so captivating. Not to say season 2 wasn't captivating. It was. It very much was. And those final 2 episodes were jaw-droppers. But then it made so much sense because, like Gabe, Love's friend, said, damage attracts damaged. It totally makes sense that someone as equally crazy as Joe would be attracted to him and would long for the same existence or life that Joe has always wanted, which is to love and be loved. And that's exactly what Love wanted. And she turned out to be just as crazy as him. You know, I thought this whole time about meeting your match was referring to Candace, who was kind of nuts, but she was also trying to do what was best for everybody by exposing and stopping Joe. And then it turns out the person who was the match that he had to meet was actually Love the whole time. And she was apparently just as nuts as he was. And the most ironic, bitter part is that 40, despite his good intentions, tried to protect his sister, completely unaware that she was as nuts as Joe is, which is why he held him at gunpoint right up until that cop killed him, thus burying Joe's dark secrets and past even more so. It was awesome seeing John Stamos return as Dr. Nicky. That was great, although I kind of hope we see him again in a potential 3rd season, if at all. But I understood his fear or reluctance of having the truth exposed simply because he knew the power of Joe's manipulation. I think the highlight of the season for me, I also always enjoy Joe Goldberg's narration. That is always such a delight. It's sarcastic, it's funny, it's illuminating, it's creepy. But the highlight for me this season was very early on. It was in the 2nd episode, and it's right after he kills Jasper. And that whole sequence where he's disposing of his body in Love's kitchen at the cafe, and the scene is cut with scenes of Love preparing her own dinner or food at her apartment in her kitchen, and they are interspliced with footage of Joe taking a giant meat cleaver and chopping this guy's body up to dispose of it. I mean, it was gross, it was shocking, it was awesome. That was the highlight of the show for me, because that right there lived up to the promise that the show, the 2nd season, was going to be gorier and scarier, and I feel like they really lived up to that promise in that particular scene or sequence. So that I very, very much enjoyed, as I enjoyed the rest of the season. But like I said, I was a little disappointed that Joe didn't really kill more people. You know, I was hoping he was going to kill that Australian boyfriend guy that Love was briefly hooking up with. And because he survived this season, there's a good chance he could return for a third season if the show gets one, which I sincerely hope it will. And I really was hoping that he was going to kill him next because he seemed like such a great potential next victim, but it just never happened. But like I said, there was no shortage of body. There was definitely a high body count. Not all of it was just carried out by Joe, unfortunately. But that's okay because the show was still just as captivating. It was great. Some awesome unhinged performances by Penn Badgley, Victoria Pedretti, James Scully, who played 40, and everybody else just did a solid, great job. I mean, this show is such a perfect psychological thriller that makes you like nervous for your leading characters, and it also kind of makes you root for the bad guys in a sense because you almost want to see them get away with this shit. And at the same time, you know that if they do get caught, it's for the best, but at the same time, you just don't want to see bad things happen to them. Like, I got really nervous when the bastard cut his little pinky finger off, and I'm glad he got it reattached, but that shit had me worried for a while. I'm like, oh my god, how's he going to do anything when he's that incapacitated? But it ended up working out. But yeah, I gotta say though, overall, solid second season. Really enjoyed it. 2 thumbs up. I definitely am going to have to rewatch the second episode because that whole sequence where he's discarding of the guy's body while she is cooking her dinner is nasty, it's scary, and it's awesome, and that was exactly what I was hoping to see from this show, and I'm glad they did not disappoint. So well done, Netflix. Well done, you, cast and crew. I hope to see a third season. So guys, what did you think of the second season? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you expecting more, expecting less? Did it satisfy your expectations or not? I want to hear your theories, opinions, and your comments down below in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching. You, seasons 1 and 2 are now both streaming on Netflix for your viewing pleasure. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching, and of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.